Hey guys, how's it going? It's Rob Sutton. So I've been using this A7 III from Sony for about 3 months now, so I wanted to kind of do a run through of some of the accessories I bought for it that are all under $100. There are a couple of things I use just a little bit differently than coming from DSLRs. You guys that have been using mirrorless for a while probably already have a couple of these, but I thought I'd go ahead and run through them and let you know what I'm using as far as cheap accessories for the camera. I will also go ahead and link every single one of these down in the description below so you can get the complete list down there as well. So, since there's kind of a long list to go through, let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so first on the list is this rocket blaster for around 10 bucks. So what's the reason for this? If you're coming from DSLR cameras like I was, you already know that your mirror was covering the sensor when you were swapping out lenses. With a mirrorless camera, that's not the case. As soon as you take off the lens body, the sensor is right there in plain view. This makes it so it's a lot easier for dust and debris, especially in outdoor conditions, to get on your sensor. This large rocket blaster that I just got off of Amazon is a quick way to blast off dust and get that off the sensor. You could do deeper cleanings like with alcohol swabs and other little kits, but I find this does 95% of the job and it gets rid of that just immediate dust on the sensor. To be honest, I rarely ever cleaned a DSLR sensor because it was protected, and I do find that I use this about once every 2 weeks just to get little dust and debris off the sensor, and I carry it in my camera bag since it's not too big, just in case I'm going outside and I won't need it on the field. So number two, right around at $8, you get 2 of them actually per pack. This is a clear glass protective screen cover for the screen on the back of the A7 III. Since this is a touch screen and it does flip out, it is more prone to scratching. So it's just a quick little insurance to make sure that you're not cracking or scratching that screen because it is mobile and flips out. I never really used anything like this on any of the camera bodies that had fixed screens, but since this one is more movable, it is more prone to get scratched. So a simple little insurance policy of $8 keeps it from happening, and you get 2 in the pack, so if you mess one up or you scratch one, you have a backup. All right, so number 3. Since the A7 III does not have an intervalometer built into the camera and I want to do time lapses, I picked up this simple little $18 intervalometer for the Sony. It plugs right into the side of it. You can set your timers, you can do delays, you can do all kinds of features with this thing. But since there isn't one built into the body, you need something like this if you plan on doing time lapses like I did with the clouds above the house, like we'll show you now. So, for 18 bucks, real cheap. Don't buy the branded ones, buy the Amazon knockoffs. They work just as well, and it's nice, light, keeps in your camera bag, no big deal. All right, so number 4, SD card reader. I was coming from my Canon that actually used compact flash readers, so those tend to be really big. So I was in the market for a new SD card reader anyway. But the key here is to find one that is actually UHS-II compatible. And especially for me, I wanted it to be Type-C, so it would be on my MacBook Pro and my Windows Tower that I have here at home, the no power build. This one's real compact, works really well, and it was pretty cheap, coming in at 18 bucks for the reader. Some of these can get pretty expensive, but I really just had a single purpose with this. It has the added benefit of having a micro SD in it, which I can use for the GoPros and other micro cameras, but the real purpose was to get the highest speed possible I could on a UHS-II SD card reader. All right, so number 5. One of the benefits of having a mirrorless camera is the lighter weight and lighter body. That allows you to use small tripods such as these. I actually picked up 2. First, we have this GOBI. You've seen these from just about, everywhere underneath the sun. A lot of guys use these. It's really good for wrapping around objects and handheld because you can curve it and it's actually kind of long. Comes in at right around 70, 80 bucks depending on where you can pick it up, but a really good tool to have. The other thing I decided to go ahead and get, especially for tabletops, is this MANFROTTO MTPXI-B, whatever. It's a mini tripod. It comes in at right around 20 bucks. It's also great for hand holding. It gives you just a little bit of grip on the camera. But the really cool thing about this is if you're in restaurants or in anywhere that's kind of public, it's a really good little just stand up and sturdy tripod that comes really cheap. You don't have to worry about any of the bending of the legs like with the GOBI to try to get it straight and sitting straight on a table. So nice little just addition to just have something sitting there, simple and easy. All right, number 6, filters. I use 2 primary filters. This one's a circular polarizer. Another would be a 6-stop ND filter for landscape use. I use primarily circular polarizers for automotive work and some work with water and skies, even though you typically get a lot of vignetting in skies with circular polarizers. I use this a lot with vehicles. And yes, Filters can get way out of the $100 range, but I find are the ones that are from a $40 to $70 range from a reputable supplier are great for recreational use. So this Hoya Came in right at 40 bucks on Amazon, and I haven't had any issues with sharpness, hazing, or anything else when taking shots with it. It's a great pickup, and it prevents you from spending, you know, $150, $200 on a filter if you're not making money from this. Now, of course, if you are making money from professional automotive photography or anything else, you might want to invest in heavier filters. But even when I was shooting pro automotive photography, I still use filters in this $40 to $70 range. So it's a good pickup. Great to have a couple of them in the bag. All right, 7, of course, is extra batteries. I already did a full review on these, which I'll go ahead and link up here above, but I went ahead and got these off of Amazon for the price of a single Sony branded battery. I got 2 plus a charger. Works really well. Go ahead and see the other quick review that I did on this that I just linked, and that is a must-have for these cameras. Yes, the battery life is so much better on the A7iii than it was on previous generations, but if you're gonna be shooting a lot of video or you're going traveling or anything else, this is a quick, easy charger that's compact that you could take with you and have extra batteries just in case. All right, number 8. 8. Camera strap. I have used a lot of different camera straps over the years. Previously, I used one of the black rapid straps for a long period of time, especially with heavier DSLRs. It was really supportive, but it did take away your tripod mount. It was more expensive, and it kind of gave you that goober look, like you just wanted to be a pro photographer everywhere you went, even if you were just taking pictures of your kids traveling. So I really wanted to get rid of that big strap look, but still have the versatility to put it over across my shoulder if I wanted to, and have just a lighter, less in-your-face look that didn't look like you were carrying around just a gigantic camera. That is another one of the benefits of these mirrorless cameras, is you don't look like you're trying to be a pro photographer everywhere you go. So after a lot of research, I ended up going with this one from Peak Design. This is their Slide Lite, which comes in at the middle of their range for camera straps, right around 50 bucks. The nice thing about this one is it's gray, so it blends in a lot with a lot of my clothing. It barely looks like I'm even wearing a camera at the time. And you can use it over your shoulder, over one shoulder, you can use it around your neck, you can use it to stabilize the camera body for video shots. It has a lot more versatility than that black rabbit strap I had, at a less cost and less of a gaudy look to it. So I've really enjoyed this strap. I'm looking at doing a full review on this sometime in the future, so be sure to subscribe if you want to see that. So number 9, memory cards. This A7iii has a UHS-I and UHS-II slot, so I went ahead and got one of each with some backups. The Sony 64 gig UHS-II SD card came in right around 56 bucks on Amazon at the time I bought it. It has incredible write speeds and supports all of the video formats and burst formats of the Sony A7iii. For the UHS-I, I picked up the SanDisk Ultra 128 gig. It comes in with a write speed right around 80 megabytes a second, but it was only $41.70 on Amazon at the time I purchased it, and gives me a lot more headroom as far as photo and video if I need it. Keep in mind though, it will not do some of the higher frame rates on the Sony because it doesn't have the write speeds to support it. So if you're looking at recording a lot of 4K or 120 frame per second video, make sure you get a higher capacity UHS-II card because you will need that extra space. All right, and last but not least, number 10, a camera bag. I was very specific about the camera bag I wanted to get. I do a lot of traveling, so I wanted to be able to carry around a bag that didn't look like I was actually carrying a camera, or at least try to not look like that as much as possible. After a lot of research and trying to find what would fit my need the best, I actually ended up with this, I think it's pronounced KATTEE, I don't know, I found it on Amazon. It's a leather canvas camera bag that looks like a plain just kind of messenger bag slash office bag that comes with 3 compartments for a camera. I actually bought this one when I had the 5D Mark III, and it did carry my 70-200, my 17-40, and my 51.4 from Sigma along with the camera body in this bag. It was a tight fit, but it fit. With the A7iii, I can get my 70-200 f4, the 51.8, and the 16-35 in it with the body and all the accessories, and is much lighter than my previous setup was. The nice thing is when I'm walking around an area that has a lot of pedestrians or a really busy city, it doesn't look like a full out camera bag like you would with some of these others. It just doesn't draw as much attention to itself. That said, I am looking at several other ones for traveling when I'm doing more hiking and that kind of stuff because it would be more comfortable. But in the end, this has become my go-to camera bag, and it was only 50 bucks, which is great considering some of the pricing of some of the other camera bags on the market have gotten pretty expensive. So I've really enjoyed this bag. It's been really durable. It's been everywhere with me for about the past year, year and a half. So really recommend it. go ahead and check it out if you're looking for something that doesn't look like a camera bag straight out of the box. All right guys, so that's my top 10 accessories for the Sony A7 III. As a little bonus, you can actually throw in, it's like some cheap video lights that I'll link down below. I'm actually using 2 right now. They're LED lights that came in under 35 bucks. And of course, if you're gonna be shooting a lot of video and photographs, it's always great to have great software. And of course, you can get the Adobe Creative Suite for under 100 bucks a month, and it'll give you everything you need to shoot video, edit it, edit your shots. I exclusively use Adobe Photoshop, Lightroom, and Premiere to edit all of my photos and video. It's a great piece of software, and the subscription service makes it a lot easier to afford versus spending thousands of dollars up front. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, you can give it a thumbs down. Be sure to subscribe, hit that bell button for notifications for more reviews, tech tips, photography tips, all that kind of stuff we do here on this channel. And until then, on to the next one. Thanks for watching. See ya.